Hey, my name's DC and I'm your host. You're watching Barside Jive, and today we were at the Choctaw Casino in Durant, Oklahoma, just off stage left. Very soon I'll be joined by Vixen's Cher Ross, so get ready to rev it up.
Hey, this is Cher Ross from Vixen, and you're watching Barside Jive, and that's DC.
That was freaking awesome. Well, Cher, sound check was awesome.
Yeah, did you like that?
Damn. I think I'd just soon go to sound check.
I mean,
you get better seats.
Yeah, you do.
It's free.
Yeah. Right?
I mean, really, you guys are like playing around. There's still lots of energy, but you're like playing around, having a good time, and I guess maybe just not under the pressure of the crowd. And
Yeah.
you're more relaxed, and it was just really cool to see you guys interact like that. So,
Yeah, we're friends.
Yeah, like sisters.
Yeah, definitely. Sisters in rock.
Yeah.
Yeah. It is sort of like your second family. Whatever band you're in is always your family.
Yeah. Okay. I've got to ask you, Cher. You singer songwriter. You're a wife. You're an author. A motivational, expert. You like play the bass, 6-string, I guess, keyboards. I mean, you do it all. You're a hell of a knitter, I understand.
Yeah.
So that's a credit that not many people have. Hell of a
Very
knitter.
unusual.
So is there anything that you can't do?
I can't fix cars.
No.
Not even close. And I'm pretty I would say highly mediocre at cooking, and my housekeeping skills are definitely not my strong suit.
Oh, so Bam does the housekeeping.
No, we both do the housekeeping. He does all the food though.
Oh, does he?
Bam is an amazing chef, so I try to learn from him. But we've been married for like over 20 years, and you'd think I'd be really good at it by now.
Yeah.
And it just. All I have to do is just say so I'll make dinner. He's like, no, I got it.
So he does the food and you do the laundry.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah, see, that works.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah, that's cool. That's
You got to work that stuff out.
Oh.
If you're going to have a good relationship, it's the day-to-day stuff. You got to have it together.
Happy wife, happy life.
We say happy husband, happy marriage.
Yeah, absolutely. Doesn't rhyme, but it works.
It doesn't rhyme. I was like, that doesn't. That really sucks.
I could tell you were thinking.
Fail.
Yeah, no, I could tell you were thinking. Okay, I'm going to ask you some questions that everybody and their mother have asked you. Okay. But I've got to establish really who you are.
Of course.
Especially for new fans.
Yeah.
Because nowadays, my 25-year-old son is a huge Zeppelin fan.
Cool.
He's 25.
That's awesome.
So, there's a lot of these kids growing up that are like, they're going to be listening to your stuff just like we did back in my day. You know what? I'm only 4 years older than you.
Nice.
Yeah.
But we're going to keep my age a secret, so don't tell anybody how old you are.
Oh, I was going to have a banner across the screen that said how old you were.
Skywrite it.
Actually, your birthday is like, my brother's was the 18th of March.
Oh, really?
And
Cool.
and he's born the same year as you.
Crazy.
But he was born on the 18th. Right. So, yeah, you don't want to say your day.
Well, Roxy and Janet, the singer for Vixen, and Roxy, the drummer for Vixen, have the same birthday 1 year apart, March 17th.
No way. I tell you, there's a lot of that goes on when you start digging. Yeah. So anyway. So how did your interest in music actually begin?
My first interest in music, I think this is common for a lot of people, but it was my mom. Like I had my family musician thing going on. Mm-hmm. So my mom was a phenomenal musician and taught piano. And then I guess it was kind of weird. She has 6 brothers and sisters, and her mom and dad were all musicians. And so they would come over, all the time in Minnesota. And it was like when my mom's side of the family came over, it was a jam session.
Oh, wow, okay.
So growing up was like, you just grabbed any instrument that was laying around and you were pretty much expected to sing, either sing along with the lead vocal or find a harmony.
Right.
So that was just, you know, as me and all my cousins were like going, oh, okay, we can do this too, you know, all of us little kids.
Right.
And so we just dove right in. And then eventually, you know, she taught me piano, which I loved. But then at a certain point, I was like, all these bands that I really look up to, like Aerosmith and the Stones, it's like, you know, on the posters, I didn't see the piano player.
Right.
They had keyboards, but it wasn't one of those dudes in the poster. I wanted to be one of the dudes in the poster.
Right.
So that sort of changed my path. And I was like, oh, I want to be in the band.
Right.
And no offense to keyboard players, because geez, it's like if you're a keyboard player, you are so in demand.
Oh yeah.
You know what I
Oh,
mean?
absolutely.
Oh my
yeah.
God, that's
Yeah.
insane. But in my, you know, my teenage thinking was not cool. I need to be like the bass player or the guitar player. And quite frankly, I tried guitar really young, and my parents, in their wonderful Midwestern thinking, gave me an acoustic guitar, which just did not do it for me at all. I was
Really?
like, this isn't what I wanted.
It's just kind of boring, dull.
Yeah, you know, I just wanted to rock out.
Yeah.
You know, and
Yeah.
I didn't understand that, you know, Zeppelin and all these bands were writing all these songs on acoustic guitars half the time. I didn't get that. I just wanted that big noise.
Right.
So eventually, I had one of my cousins actually was a bass player.
Oh.
So I used to watch him play. He played electric bass, you know,
Right.
Fender or something.
Right.
And I just thought that was really cool.
Uh-huh.
And then somewhere along the way as well, my mom played upright bass. And so I just always was exposed to the bass as an instrument and what its purpose was. I kind of understood it.
Right.
And
Do
so
you play the upright bass?
I tried.
Okay.
I did when I was like, I don't know, like 18 or something. I had a really nice upright bass, and I studied. I had some really official teacher, and you know, I had to learn how to do all the bowing stuff and play all
Right.
the other stuff as well. I was not coming naturally.
Yeah.
It was hard. It was
Yeah.
really, really hard, and I was getting really frustrated. So yeah, I stuck with regular bass. I played fretless as well, but I
Right.
stuck with regular fretted bass was my main thing, really. Yeah.
Cool. So,
Yeah.
how did you end up joining Vixen?
That was one of those strange right time, right place kind of situations. The guitar player, Jan, had, rest in peace, had seen me play in Hollywood. I had moved to California. So I was just playing in whatever. I was just playing in like a million situations. And so she saw me playing and walked up to me after the gig. And it was just some club on Sunset Strip. And said, I have this band named Vixen. It's an all-female rock band, and here's my number, and I would love for you to check me out, you know, check us out sometime. And I was like, oh, that's cool. And quite frankly, I took that bar napkin, because we didn't have cell phones then. I took the bar napkin, shoved it into the bottom of my purse, and was just like, all-girl band, right. And just like moved on. And totally was just like, la, 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 la. And then about 3 months later, I was not having a good time finding a band to be a member of in LA. Like every time I would call an ad, they would just like laugh at me or hang up the phone on me. They'd be like, "What? You want to be our bass player? Hey, dude, there's some chick who wants to be our bass." So
That sucks.
yeah, so I thought, okay, I did not even think of Vixen as an option, but what I did think was, if I can find out where they're playing, she could introduce me to other musicians, and then I'll have a way in to
Right.
like a cool band.
Right.
So I looked in the music mag, found a place that they were playing and everything. I was like, okay, cool, all right. Oh wow, look at this. There's a really good review about them. Oh, that's really neat. And so I was like, dug the number up, called her up, and she goes, did you hear a rumor about us? And I'm like, basically, no, I just read about you in this music magazine, you know. And anyway, they had just fired their bass player 10 minutes before I called. So it really couldn't have been like a more right time, right place. Yeah. So I
that
was
was
like,
supposed to be.
it was, and I was like, you know, one of several people that auditioned, and I think it was, I want to say, it was definitely less than a year later. It was Inc. to EMI Records. We were signed.
Now, how long had they been formed before you joined? Had it been like over a year?
Oh yeah, way over a year.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, way over a year.
Okay.
Yeah, there were several versions of Vixen before the lineup that was successful and went on MTV.
Oh, okay.
Several.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Well, I like the bar napkin story, and the reason I like that is because Barside, Jive,
There you go.
bar napkin.
Bar
It's
napkin.
kind of cool.
She saw me in a bar.
Yeah. Do you still have the bar napkin?
I don't.
You know, wouldn't it have been cool if you still had it and you could like framed it? That would have been like freaking awesome.
That would have been amazing. That would have been amazing.
Been your logo or something.
All right.
I mean, that would have been really cool. I think. So you started on the piano.
Yeah.
And then you switched to bass. Why?
Really just so I would have a place in the front of the rock band. I wanted to be on the posters.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I just wanted to be, I thought I wanted to be Aerosmith. I wanted to be Led Zeppelin. I wanted to be the Rolling Stones. I wanted to be one of those guys. And so...
That's what I was looking for.
Yeah, that was it.
I wanted you to say Led Zeppelin because my freaking favorite.
Oh, I'm a Zeppelin fanatic.
Oh, me too.
Yeah,
I've been
huge
listening.
Zeppelin fan.
Saw them in '77 and I was done.
Right.
I mean, I already started buying their albums, but when I saw them live, it was like, ever since then, I mean, I've been huge, own everything they have bootlegs over in Europe. Oh my God, I just...
Yeah. I mean, John Paul Jones is a phenomenal bass player. He's just phenomenal.
And you don't transition between, like during shows, you don't go from keys to, like he did, from keys to bass. You don't...
No, I mean, it doesn't lend itself to Vixen anyway, I don't think.
Yeah.
But I did play piano for our MTV Unplugged performance.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I guess I never saw that.
Now you have to go YouTube it.
I will now. Don't hold this against me, but okay. Bubble.
Oh, right, yeah, my solo album stuff. Well, that's all. It was me and Bam, yeah.
Yeah, but I never had your husband.
Yeah.
And you. So, and you guys both wrote the songs.
Yeah.
Right.
3 albums, 3 EPs.
And so I've listened to some of that, and I love that stuff.
Thank you.
You left Vixen in 1991.
Right.
Why?
There was a whole bunch of stuff that happened with our management and the record company and all this stuff, and then it just sort of crumbled. And so there was just sort of a point of, okay, I just don't want to do this anymore. And actually, it was sort of like being disappointed in the music business more than anything. There was just a lot of stuff that went down. You know,
But you'd seen a lot of successes.
Yeah, but I mean, we all filed. You know, I filed bankruptcy, and you know, like the record label wouldn't let us go, but they didn't. It just went on and on and on. And so at one point, I just put my bass in the closet, and I was like, I'm done. I'm done with music. I'm never playing again. Forget it. Blah blah blah. And this friend of mine got me to start playing again. He's a Texas blues guitar player named Gary Myrick, and he had a band called. We had a hit called She Talks in Stereo. And then he had this other band called, God, it's terrible now, I can't remember the name of the band. I was in Havana 4 a.m., I think we were called. And anyway, he decided to put that band back together, but he needed a bass player. And he didn't actually call me to play bass. He called me up saying, I think he knew like where my head was at. And he was like, well, do you have a rehearsal studio, blah, blah, blah. And I was like, yeah, I got this place. And then he's like, well, why don't you come on down there anyway and just, you know, have a jam. And then, of course, I ended up playing in the band.
Right.
And then that kind of pushed me back in.
Sucked you in.
It pushed me back into the music world again, and I haven't stopped ever since.
So you could thank Gary Myrick?
I can, yeah. Thank you, Gary. Yeah, he's a cool guy. Great guitar player. Great Texas blues guitar player.
You know, how was it working in a male-dominated industry back in the day?
Back in the day, you know, it has changed now, or else it's because we're a known entity, so people treat us differently. But back in the day, what typically happened was, you know, we just showed up. Like I said, I was always playing in all dude bands. Like Vixen was like my 900 billionth band that I was in. It was just the only one that was ever successful. So, what would typically happen was we would turn up for the tour, and either the headlining band or the road crew for them or whoever would be backstage for our first night. Because they would, and then afterwards the guys go, yeah, we had to come check you out. Damn, you guys can actually play. Really? What? You're like really good. And you would just be like, yeah, that's great. Thanks,
I gotta
dude.
listen to this.
And you know, they always thought they were giving us a really huge compliment. Like they've just realized that we weren't lip syncing.
Right.
You know, they just put this together.
Yeah.
And it was like this huge compliment to tell us that they were so impressed. And so it just became funny.
Yeah.
You know, it was just funny. You know, we would walk through airports and we got called, hey, look, it's Motley Crue's Wives. Hey, look, it's an all-female basketball team. Hey, look, it's the girl cheerleading team. Hey, look, you guys must be Poison's girlfriends. So it just became like funny. You know, you can't get mad.
Yeah.
And we all went into it being, you know, we're all just musicians who happen to be chicks. It's like, who cares?
Right.
But I get it, you know, at that time, why would you think we were a band? You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, I do get it. But you just have to laugh. That doesn't happen now.
You guys outperform a lot of male bands, that's for sure.
Well, not Led Zeppelin.
Well, you know, I am kind of partial to Led Zeppelin. Let's not go there.
Let's not go there.
But
let's not even go into that arena. Let's like, Apple Z.
Yeah.
Undo.
Oh, gosh. Yeah, I do.
Yeah.
It's Led Zeppelin.
Yeah. No, I mean, you know, it's all good. You just have to laugh at it.
Yeah. Well, I guess it was probably maybe easier that you were in an all-girl band than it would have been if you were the only female in a guy band. Well, you were, actually.
Well, the Contraband.
Yeah.
Now it's a mighty long way down the dusty trail.
Yeah, and it wasn't a lot of in every other band that I was in. I was usually the only chick.
Did the guys pretty much respect you?
Oh yeah, always. I never had any issues.
Right, good. That's good to know.
Although me and Bobby Blotzer would have, we played wild pranks on each other.
Really?
Yeah, in contraband. Yeah, just
Really?
wild and yeah. Because he would just be like, I can't believe I'm in a band with a chick, and I was like, well, I can't believe I'm in a band with a douche. What's your problem? You know, so then he was just like, what?
Yeah.
So just pranks started flying.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Now, was it all in fun, or was he?
Oh no, totally all in fun.
Okay.
Oh yeah,
All right.
yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Tell me, Cher, who has influenced your music career the most?
Deep question. Probably as a different phases. That's a tricky question.
Well, just pick somebody.
Okay, well, initially it would have been, Led Zeppelin. Then after that, it would have been, he's all like, yeah. And then I got super into like just bass players. And so then I got really heavily into, Jaco Pastorius and got really into that whole scene.
Right.
And then Jaco said he was really influenced by Jimi Hendrix. So then I tried to learn to play Jimi Hendrix stuff on bass, on fretless.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I kind of went mental for a while. Bizarres, whatever. So, and then I would get into like, into different aspects of things. So that, like songwriting wise, there were different influences then. Probably a lot more of the 70s stuff. Cheap Trick and Big Star, huge fan of Big Star.
Right.
10cc, believe it or not.
Oh, yeah.
I love 10cc. I think they're so amazing. And, God, who's on the play? Bowie, Tom Petty, everybody who's dying is like really pissing me off.
Yeah.
Prince. I mean, I grew up in Princetown. I grew up in Minneapolis, so
Right.
a lot of my friends played for Prince.
Yeah. Yeah, we've lost so many in the last 4 or 5 years.
It's unfathomable.
Yeah.
And obviously I know it's going to happen.
Yeah, I
but
know. It's
still,
it's hard to.
And Prince, that happened way too soon.
Oh yeah.
That was.
Well, and Tom Petty, from what I understand, that it was.
That was not okay.
No, that was.
Great songwriters though.
Oh God.
On every level, like the production that they brought, just their own sound, their style, what they said lyrically, all of that. Love all of it.
I loved the Traveling Wilburys.
Oh, phenomenal.
God, I love listening.
Phenomenal.
Yeah.
I mean, Jeff Lynne is an amazing producer as well. Probably one of my all-time top producers is Jeff Lynne. I love his producing.
Yeah. So
and Sylvia
good.
Massey. Sylvia, if you're listening.
Sylvia, you heard it straight here from Barside Jive.
That's it.
So tell me a few of the best moments you've experienced in your career. Things that really stand out.
That's cool. Definitely, that all the firsts that happened with Vixen. The first time hearing, your own song on the radio, and I think we were in a limo. And it was just like, oh my God, it's on the radio! Freak out. That's pretty sensational. The first time we played an arena was with the Scorpions in Europe.
Oh, wow.
And that was phenomenal. And they were so gracious to us. They welcomed us to the tour. And in our dressing room, they had like a dozen roses each and a bottle of champagne for each of us. And they said, welcome to the big time.
Yeah.
And it was just so cool. It was so cool. So cool. And that was a phenomenal moment. Walking on stage that night was also, you just want to freeze time and go, wait, stop. Let me just
enjoy it.
Remember this. Okay,
Soak
carry
in.
on. Wait, just freeze that for a second. There were some funny things. I remember we went on the Arsenio Hall show. You remember that TV show?
Yeah. No, I don't know.
No.
What?
You're
I
not
think
that old.
I think I was too young.
Yeah. So the thing with Arsenio Hall is he was really well known for the band had to be live. Zero lip syncing. There was no lip syncing. You played and sang every note.
Wow.
Or you were not allowed to be on his show. So we're all like, behind the curtain, and your heart starts pounding, a little bit. And God, I wish I could remember exactly what the guy said, but I can't remember the number. But he mentioned the guy in charge of sound design for the show. He was like the sound producer, the audio guy, in charge of the whole how it's going to sound. walks up to us, he goes, okay, I've already gotten like a Grammy for this show, or whatever I get for that. And he goes, so don't fuck anything up. There's only going to be like 15 million people watching you. And then the curtain went up. I remember my heart just went, and I looked at Janet, and she looked at me, and my mouth went completely dry. You know, like every ounce of saliva was gone.
Yeah.
And it was How Much Love. And there's all these harmonies on there, and I've got like, you know, whatever. And anyway, I just remember thinking, thank God I'm not the singer. Thank God I'm not the singer. Thank God I'm not the singer. It's like, all I have to do is hit my harmony part. But she has to, I was like, because I was like, I felt like I couldn't breathe.
In the male-dominated world of rock and roll, these next ladies prove that good music has no gender. Performing their hit, How Much Love, from their new album, Rev It Up. This is Vixen.
Your back, you're running away again. The more I give you, the less that you take. Tell me where is it gonna end? I can see you felt some pain. I know you've been hurt before, but I swear you won't get hurt no more. Well, tell me how much love is it gonna take to prove I'm not enough heartache? Do you begin to let your heart give in? Or how much love is it gonna take? Well, I'm missing for ya, you're getting so close, but you're always a step away. Well, I wanna touch you and give you my love. But what is it gonna take? I can see in your eyes, but you wanna let me in. But you're scared that you get hurt again. Well, tell me how much love is it gonna take to prove I'm not another heartache? Do you begin to let your heart give in? Or how much love is it gonna take? I've been searching for an answer. Tell me what it's gonna be. How much love is it gonna take to prove I'm not enough heartache? Do you begin to let your heart give in? Or how much love? Tell me how much love. I can see in your eyes. Come on.
Vixen! Now that's rock and roll. Vixen, come on, give it up. Yes.
The funniest thing is we had a great performance. It went down really, really well. And then the next day, our manager got these messages saying, why did Vixen lip sync on our city? And we were like, what? You gotta be kidding me. So then that was just more humor. Like, great. So now we actually go on there to prove that it's really us. And people are like, oh,
Right.
no, you're bullshitting. You couldn't have done that.
Oh,
Isn't that funny?
it is.
It's hilarious. So I mean, yeah, there's so many moments all the time, you know.
Yeah.
Still to this day, we have a great time together.
Tell me about a stage fail, something.
Stage fail.
Yeah, something on the stage. You're in a performance, failed, and it just like caught you off guard, or something happened. Can you think of something?
Oh, absolutely. Well, specifically with Vixen was probably about 2 years ago. We were playing this club, which shall not be named. And first of all, our sound check went really bad. And they couldn't get the monitors to work. They couldn't get the PA to hardly work at all. It just sounded like the band's like, I believe, I mean, there was just no sound. You know?
Wow.
It was just like there was nothing there.
Yeah.
And so, so we just had to leave sound check and go, okay, well, nothing's really working. And he's like, oh, well, they just got everything and they're still figuring out the wiring or something, blah, 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 blah. And we're like, okay. So 3 bands play and we come back and we're sitting in the dressing room and we're like, oh my God, it sounds really bad. Like we could hear this other band and it's not the band. Like the sound was just like, there's no sound, there's no power, there's nothing.
Right.
And so we're like, what are we gonna do? What are we gonna do? And we're like, well, some of these people drove 3 hours to come and see us play. So we're like, okay, well, we just got to go up there and power through this.
Wow.
So the third song, the fans are pointing to the PA stacks. They're like pointing, like, oh my God. They're like going, get away. And I'm like, and I'm thinking it's gonna fall on my head, you know. And the PA was on fire. So we were like, okay, so this is practically an acoustic gig. We just took our floor monitors, which you could barely hear anyway, and we turned them around to face the audience. And they were kind of high, so I just used mine as a drink stand and let them hear whatever they could possibly hear. And, you know, at that point, we could have just basically unplugged and just tried to, like, strum along or something.
Right.
I mean, it was just, like, so bizarre. But the people that were there appreciated that we...
Oh, yeah.
You know, we pounded through the best that we could. We just kept going.
You know, if that had happened at a Kiss concert, no one would ever said anything.
Yeah, it's on fire. Awesome.
Yeah, you rock.
Pyromania on the fucking speakers. This is great. It's great.
Oh,
It's great.
that's
Yeah,
awesome.
Yeah. There was there was another funny moment.
How's your beer?
It's awesome. Thank you.
Yeah. You know, Barside Jive, we have the best.
Yeah, I like the lager here.
This bar has the best alcohol in like freaking
best booze.
Choctaw County or
Totally.
wherever
Totally.
Durant, Oklahoma.
Yeah.
Anyway, go ahead.
No, there was one other moment that comes to mind. It's not really like a fail, but it's a moment where I thought, okay, I'm screwed now. So this is like part of your test. So there's another band that I'm a bass player in. Do you know what that band is? With a really, really, really famous singer dude.
Yeah, I do. Hang on. Okay. There was Bubble, there was Contrabandist, and I'll run through all the names. Not the Dogs. No, that
you're
was
thinking of Dogs D'Amore.
Dogs
Yeah, I played with them for a while.
D'Amore?
Dogs D'Amore, yeah.
Dogs D'Amore?
Yeah, that's my husband's old band, Bam Bam.
Right,
That's his old
okay.
band, yeah.
Is that his name, Bam Bam?
Bam. Well, I call him Bam, but his full name would be Bam Bam.
Is it? That's a stage name.
Yeah.
Yeah.
His mom named him that. He's gonna look at his notes. I love it.
That Bubble song, though, not Sparkle Star, but that other one,
Dead Ender.
Dead Ender. I
knew you were
love
gonna say
that.
I knew you were gonna say
And
that.
that's me. Look at my notes. JSRG.
Nope. Do you want me to name one of their hits?
I don't know.
You ever heard of Def Leppard?
Oh yeah, Joe Elliott.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Joe Elliott has another band called the Down and Outs.
Down and Outs, yes. Because what was the band before then that you guys were in a project? Start the Q.
Oh, there's another band called the Choir Boys. I just played one set with them.
Oh, okay.
I'm just old friends with them. Like we
Okay.
played with the Choir. Vixen toured with the Choir Boys here and there. But yeah, I'm friends with the Choir Boys, so they needed a bass player for one gig.
Oh wow.
And I did that, and 3 of those guys are in the band with Joe Elliott. But what happened, what was the epic fail moment, was, I'd never actually met Joe Elliott in person. And so, it all worked out, blah, blah, blah. And he's like, okay, I'm going to fly you over to England. We're going to rehearse for 3 days, and then we're going to do this month on tour.
Right.
And so it's like, great, okay. So the guys are like, come prepared. Like, don't F this up at all. And I'm like, don't worry, I'm not gonna embarrass you. I got it. I'm all good. And so, I mean, I worked the songs to death. I was totally ready for that. And so I fly over there and, get driven to the edge of England and I'm in the rehearsal room and I'm waiting to meet Joe and he's bringing me his bass because I couldn't bring my bass, blah, blah, it's a weird story. Anyway, so he's bringing me his bass and eventually he gets there, and I'm all kind of nervous, like, hey, this is Joe Elliott, right? So I'm meeting him, and he's super nice, like salt of the earth nice, just like the nicest guy in the world. And everything's great. I'm like, awesome. And they're like, okay, let's get started, and blah, blah, blah. So I go pick up the bass, and I'm checking it out, and it's great. It's an awesome. I play P basses, so it was great. And then I put it back, and I lean it against the thing, because for some reason I don't think I had a guitar stand there or something. And then I turn my back and I hear that sound. The bass went down.
Oh,
and I was just like,
Joe.
Oh God, I'm so fired. I'm so being sent home right now with my tail between my legs.
And you're warned.
And I they were like, don't F this up, And I pick up the bass and everything's fine. And I just like look at all the guys, they're like, wow, you got lucky, dude. And I was like, oh man, And then it was smooth sailing after that.
Really?
All good. I knew all my shit. I was good to go. I was solid, and it was also great.
Wow.
Yeah, every gig was great. We all ended up with pneumonia, but it was really good.
Pneumonia?
Yeah, Joe had walking pneumonia.
Oh no.
We were all like coughing, like you'd sing and then cough and then sing and then cough.
Oh, that pneumonia's bad stuff.
It was.
Yeah. You know why
Yeah.
they wouldn't let you take your bass?
Why?
Because they declared it a weapon of mass destruction.
Weapon of bass destruction. That was why. How did you know?
Because I'm just smart like that.
Yeah. So that was like another one of those moments where you're just like, can I just rewind this and put that on a stand,
Right.
please?
Right. So Joe didn't get pissed?
No, not to my knowledge. Maybe he'll tell me one day that he was really mad at me, but.
So you guys still playing together?
Well, we're actually working on a third album.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yep. I've got 4 of the bass tracks done, and then I've got another 4 or 5 to go.
So he lives in Europe?
Yeah, he lives in Ireland.
Okay. And you're in LA, right?
No, I'm in Florida.
Oh, really? Mm-hmm. Oh, okay. I assumed you were in LA.
Nope, I moved away 8.5 years ago. I'm a Florida real estate agent as well.
Oh, you really?
Add that to
I'm
my
a Texas
list.
real estate agent.
Are you right on, brother?
Golly.
See?
Dang, we have a lot in common.
Mangles.
Okay, so you became host and co-producer of a video cast,
Yes.
Rock and Roll TV.
My name is Sherry Ross. My name is I am Mark. My name is Hello. My name is Sherry Ross. Hello. My name is Sherry Ross. Hi, welcome to Rock and Roll TV.
Rock and roll at its finest. Knocks and the vibrators.
Rock and Roll TV. Rock and Roll TV. Rock and Roll TV.
I guess it's similar to kind of what I'm doing, probably on a larger scale, but tell me about that experience. Well, how'd you get into that?
Bam and I had that band Bubble going for a long time.
Mm-hmm.
And that was, what happened was my parents both died. And so I was just like, I can't play Bubble gigs right now. I just can't deal with walking into a club and going up on stage and rocking out. I was just like really depressed. Basically, I was really depressed. So quite frankly, he just took me aside and said, we need to get you busy doing something. And a friend of ours was doing a lot of podcasting, and he's like, why don't you guys do video? Because you guys know how to do that stuff. And so Bam goes, okay, let's get you on camera. Let's do this, blah, blah, blah. And we just decided it was just going to be a way to get other people to recognize all these really cool bands that were either in LA or coming through LA, because, we know a lot of bands.
Right.
And we wanted to bring those bands a bigger audience. And then it just kind of grew and grew and grew, and suddenly we had, we were picked up by this entertainment channel online, and that was our full-time job. That was all we did for a long time.
Freaking awesome.
Yeah, and a lot of those bands, we interviewed The Answer, which are huge. There were some other bands that I always thought should be huge that were, I don't know how big they are, but Semi-Precious Weapons went on to tour with Lady Gaga. there was oh crap, what was the name of this band? Sarah or something. There's these two chicks. Dang it, now I can't remember the name of it. Ah, crap. Anyway, there was a ton of bands we interviewed that were just so good, so good.
Right.
And it was funny. Like I would never pull the Vixen card.
Really?
I would just show up like, I'm Cher from Rock and Roll TV, and I would just interview them. And then every once in a while, one out of about every 20 would be like, wait a minute, don't I know you from?
Yeah.
And I'd be like, I don't know. Did you ever watch 80s Rock? They're like, yeah, you're from Vixen.
Yeah.
So it was really funny because I would always approach it like I just host this show.
Right.
And so I had a lot of fun with that, though. It was,
I bet.
It was really fun. And we would film the bands. We'd do like this big audio production and everything to get really good sound. We wanted them to sound as good as possible.
Right, because you're trying to promote them.
Yeah. We have an archive of all of those shows.
Do you? I'd love
Yeah.
to see those.
They're all on SD. They're all, they're small.
Yeah.
They're not the HD size. They're not 1080. But
How can I see those?
we don't have them up because we're just like kind of sitting on them going, there's so many.
Oh, really?
There's a lot.
If
There's
you had
like
a
200
website or
shows.
something you could put on there?
We did, but I don't have all that stuff up there anymore because it was all.
Well, maybe if you do.
Yeah,
I'd
I
like-
don't know. It would be like a process. We always keep thinking like, it's like a time capsule. Like,
Yeah.
oh my God, if we put this on like DVDs or something, this would be
Yeah.
like a time capsule of Hollywood.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Of this year to this year. I don't even know what years it was. 2005 or 4 or something.
See if I have that. I don't know.
I don't know what it was. I don't know when it was. It's terrible. 2006. Oh, that
Yeah,
makes sense.
2006,
Because
yeah.
my parents. Yeah. Yeah. So 2006 till about the band. We did it for longer, but the band stuff was 2006 to like 2008. It was like more than one a month. It was a lot. It was like a lot. Man, there was some. We discovered so many cool bands. We were like constantly like, trolling for bands that were coming to town. And man, there were some bands where I was just like truly bummed that they didn't succeed.
Right.
You know what I mean? And then sometimes you'd see stuff like, oh, that's really interesting. Like the guy from Burning Brides, Dimitri Coates, I think his name is. And we interviewed him and his wife had this amazing rock band. So cool. And then he went on to be one of the stars in that movie with Alice Cooper.
Oh.
I can't remember the name of the flipping movie
Well,
now.
me either, but yeah. I know
That's
what
terrible. Horrible reference. But yeah, anyway, he was like the evil Dracula guy or something.
Yeah.
And I was like, holy crap. Like he parlayed this whole thing into something else. I was like, you just never know, where people are going to end up. It's so
No.
cool.
No, you don't.
Yeah.
So you're a motivational teacher, life coach.
Yeah, I do a lot of life coach work.
Really?
Yeah.
I am so happy you landed here. I know we just met, but I have a secret to tell you. You are a rock star. How do I know? Because I'm a rock star too, and it takes one to know one. Whether you're feeling stuck or you're full of passion and searching for a purpose, or maybe you've got tons of ideas swirling around in your brain, you are in the right place. Start with my About Me page and find out who I am. Then head over to the Work With Me page and look for a package that fits what you need. If you don't see anything, let me know and I'll customize something just for you. Of course, sign up for the Adrenaline Feed mailing list over on the side so you can get every tasty morsel of rockin' resources that I've got for you. And finally, keep it on 11 and rock your life today.
So I can tell me you're such an upbeat and personable, that's got to serve you well, working with other people. But you can tell you got that. So you like the motivational teaching part of that?
I do, yeah. I think, you teach what you need to know. So I had to work on myself for a really long time. 20-something odd years ago, I was in a pretty dark place. And so I started to just really, really do a lot of my own work. Mm-hmm. And then the life coaching thing kind of came about organically. So I was coaching other people around how to be on camera because of the whole video thing. So I was doing a lot of help with, how to get comfortable talking to a camera and how to light yourself and how to just like become, really confident with that. And then that led to those clients then contacting me and saying, I think you can help me with more. Would you be my life coach.
Right.
And so I was like, wait, what?
Yeah.
And then it just sort of developed into like how I do that, you know, in my own processes and stuff like that. So
Right.
it wasn't like I went out and sought it or,
Just happened.
yeah, it totally just happened
Yeah.
organically, yeah.
Yeah, that's really cool. So tell me about Vixen. What's going on in the future?
Right. So what is going on with Vixen? We have got a live album coming out.
Awesome.
Yeah, and it's got a track that's a new track that nobody's heard before.
Awesome.
And we have a very unusual version of one of our hits as well. And that is going to be coming out pretty darn soon.
Awesome.
Lost in the dark, looking in a mirror of dreams. Don't know who you are, and loving what it seems. Why do we pretend we know all the sense? It's crazy, but it's true. Who's staring back at you? You ought to know by now. You ought to know by now. You ought to know by now. When you're around, I'm saying you. You ought to know by now. You ought to know by now. You're breathing in me, and I can never let you go. Get out of my head, baby, don't I know that we gotta stop playing pretend. He's not coming back. It's just you and me. Who else could it be? You ought to know by now. You ought to know by now. You ought to know by now. When you're around, I'm saying you. You ought to know by now. You ought to know by now. Why do we pretend he's not coming back? I'm crazy but true. Me, myself, and you. I ought to know by now. You ought to know by now. You ought to know by now. You ought to know by now. I'm saying you. You ought to know by now. You ought to know by now. Ah, baby, you. You ought to know by now. You ought to
Produced by Michael Wagner, who's done Metallica and Skid Row and Great White. Great guy.
Very nice.
And so, yeah, we're really excited about that. And then, you know, of course, we have plans to do a studio album as well, but we wanted to get to this, you know, as soon as we possibly could.
Right. And what's the release date?
We don't have a definite date, but if I had to say, I would say it's probably May, June-ish, somewhere in there.
Okay.
I think in time for the summer. I think in time
Okay.
for the summer.
Now, what's the lineup going to be for that album?
Well, yeah, because we're at an unusual gig right now. So, but the lineup is Janet Gardner, Roxy Petrucci, myself, Britt Lightning on guitar, and then our keyboard player is Tyson Leslie.
Okay, cool. All right.
Yeah, now this gig right now that we're doing in Oklahoma, Janet had a brain bleed unexpectedly. Not that you ever expect a brain bleed.
Oh, wow.
So she had a brain bleed in January and had to undergo, emergency surgery. And so she is recovering. She's almost ready to play. Another 2 weeks. If this gig was in 2 weeks, we would have done it with her. But it's just too risky with the travel involved. So Lorraine Lewis from Femme Fatale stepped in.
Oh, okay.
And
cool.
So she is singing with us here in Oklahoma, which is really
very
unusual.
Right.
Making a little bit of history there.
Right.
And Lorraine's, it's rock and roll family.
Yeah.
We look out for each other in the world of rock and roll.
Right.
That's what we do.
So anything else about Vixen? Is that you're going to rock this house tonight about 9 o'clock?
Tonight. We are going to rev it up.
Rev it up.
Yeah, no, everything is great,
Good.
Yeah, we're just really grateful to be out playing again and
Yeah.
happy to be connecting with fans and, super appreciative. It's like, if you'd have told me however many years ago that we'd be doing this again, not only would it have seemed like impossible, but it was just so unforeseeable.
Yeah.
So really, really cool.
Yeah. Well, we're glad you're out there doing your thing because we like listening to you. We've loved listening to you for many, many years now. I'm not going to say how many because people will guess how old I am. And right now I've got them fooled by about 10 years at least.
Woo!
So, yeah.
Nice one.
Tell me something that no one has ever asked you.
What my favorite kind of book or movie, what genre is my favorite kind of book or movie?
Horror?
Nope.
Romance?
Nope.
Just share. Just share it.
Science fiction, man.
Really?
Sci-fi.
Science fiction?
I love my sci-fi.
Wow.
Yeah.
Are you like a Star Trek person?
I'm not a hardcore one.
Yeah.
Like, when I've seen like the Trekkie documentaries and stuff. I'm like, whoa. I like the old school Star Trek, like the original.
Right.
I do like those. I'm a William Shatner fan.
Yeah. You probably watched Lost in Space too.
I did watch Lost in Space. I love Star Wars.
Will Robinson.
Danger. But I love like all the Men in Black and
Yeah, those are good.
Whenever there's like a science fiction like TV show, I'm always like, I hope it's really good. I hope it has a lot of seasons. I loved Battlestar Galactica.
Oh yeah. That was
I think
good
there's a
stuff.
ton of them that are out there
Yeah.
that are fun.
Yeah.
So yeah, sci-fi. Sci-fi
cool.
is my jam.
Cher, it's been a real honor to have you, and we really look forward to listening to you tonight.
Oh yeah. I don't need no doctor. I feel good, yeah. I hope you feel good too. Oh, do you feel good? Do you feel good? Do you feel good? Oh, do you feel good? Oh, I don't need no doctor. I don't need no doctor. I don't need no doctor. No. Oh. Ow! It's a rhythm section thing. Know what I'm saying? Woo! Yeah, baby. I'm gonna need your help soon, though. Am I there yet? I don't think I'm there yet. I don't need no doctor. I don't need no doctor. Well, they said they were calling a doctor, but I said no, 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 no. I don't need. You know what I'm saying? I don't like the doctor. All right, I think I'm doing it now. I don't need no doctor.
make us feel good.
Hey, I'm DC, and thanks for watching Barside Jive. We'll see you next time. And in the meantime, keep it real and keep on rocking.
Hold on tighter when the ride gets a little rough. Don't give in, don't give up, give it all you got. Rev it up, push it to the top. Rev it up,
So we're going to do this one more time. That's Greg. It's Greg goofing off. He's a staff photographer. He's very expensive. Greg's very expensive. So, don't even think about contacting him because hardly anybody's got the money to hire him except for, me because my show's so fucking popular. So we're going to do this one more time. Hey, my name is DC and I am your host. So we're going to do this one more time.
DC. Barside Jive, this is DC. Did I mention?
I think they missed that. Why don't you say it again?
This is Cher from Vixen. You're watching Barside Jive, and guess what? This is DC! Awesome, dude.
You're awesome.